And we are live. Hey guys, this is Ruben Dua from the Dubb podcast Connection Loop. And I am so excited to have Chris on the line with me. In this episode, we are going to be talking about how to maintain, how to manage, how to grow your authority, your brand, your overall presence online. So this includes LinkedIn, YouTube, social channels, and so much more. Chris is in fact a user of Dubb. So psyched to have learned about that, I think through one of his YouTube videos, in fact, where he did a review on Dubb. Hopefully that was a good review.
Very positive.
And that, okay, good. And that's how we reached out. Chris, if you could please start with a short intro and then let's get into it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So my background, I used to be the head of business development for a Fortune 1000 life insurance company, broker dealer. Just my job was to go around, recruit people, train them, teach them how to build their sales business in the financial industry. Got kind of disenchanted with the corporate side of the business and started Life 180 in 2014. And, it's been quite the journey. Anybody who's been an entrepreneur knows what I'm talking about, the ups and downs and all around that goes around with starting a company. And what I can say is it's funny, Life 180 has held a couple different faces over the years. And it's interesting because I've always had this passion for personal financial education, like teaching people about their personal finances. But along the way, it's funny. It's not funny. My wife used to be the head of marketing for everything I did. And then we got into a car accident and she got a traumatic brain injury. She couldn't look at a computer screen for 2 years. So I was literally thrown into the mix in 2015 to try to I had to figure out how to do my own marketing because I just came out of a year of launching my company, lost a ton of money my first year, and I couldn't pay anybody, so I had to figure it out. And in that process, it's funny how the world works. I fell in love with the world of marketing and branding and building your own stuff online, and I became a ClickFunnels partner, and I started doing all these different things to help businesses grow, and that brought me outside of the financial industry. And so for a couple of years, I spent time completely out of the financial world. I still made some YouTube videos every now and then, which my YouTube channel is pretty much focused on the money stuff. But when COVID happened, I lost my two biggest clients that I was working with. And so I literally woke up one day and I was like, well, what am I going to do now? And so I was like, well, I got this YouTube channel. I might as well get back to this and get back into the financial industry. And the timing was crazy because everybody in the financial space was getting to this place where they had to start meeting with people online. They had to start connecting with people online. And when I say connecting, I'm not just talking about chatting them, but really learning how to connect with people to make an impact, and to differentiate themselves. And so, we started helping people. It's awesome how you started this about, building your authority. We help agents do what we call build their authority platform online. That is a service that we do. And so it's a lot of fun. And so that's led us here. And so I'm launching my first book in the financial space next month called Cash Flow Hacking. And I now work with life insurance agents, teaching them how to build their business, learning how to sell, educating on products, sales tactics, online marketing, all that stuff, online branding. And it's just a lot of fun.
It's interesting. There's one thing that a lot of us don't do, which is Googling ourselves. And it's one of those things where I think we should all do it. We should all just get over the fear,
totally,
put our name into Google and actually see what pops up. Totally. I have this theory that the reason why people don't do it is because they just don't want to see what's out there. It's kind of like, I don't know, smelling your armpit or smelling your own breath. Right. Sure. It's like, these are some things that you kind of have to do, whether it's effective or not, on smelling your armpit or smelling your breath, because olfactory senses trigger only with change. But with Google, you can actually find what people are saying about you. And there is this simple point, which I always love to reshare. And a great friend of mine, Roberto Monaco, he actually told me this. He says, if you don't say what you want to say about yourself and basically put stuff on the internet, others will say it for you. Someone else will put that link there. And we should own the first page of Google for ourselves, or LinkedIn or Twitter or YouTube or website, the bio page, whatever it may be. So guide us on a path on how we can sort of prioritize what we start to upgrade for our online presence.
Well, I think I mean, first and foremost, you got to think about the fact that, you know, places like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you know, all those sites have a lot of clout. Twitter have a lot of clout with the search engines because they have relevance, right? And so Google is always looking for legitimate sites, you know, and so when it comes to that, making sure that all of your profiles, even if you're not going to use them actively, right? Like, so it's really hard. It's hard as an entrepreneur to try to think. It can be really overwhelming to say, wow, I'm not going to use Twitter, so why have a Twitter account? Well, you just kind of answered, is so you could dominate the first page of you, right? So like, a funny story, Ruben, is my name is Chris Kirkpatrick, right? So I don't know if you know this or not, but one of the lead singers of NSYNC, his name is Chris Kirkpatrick. So I'm battling. Yeah, he's nodding in the background. That's funny. So I'm battling like with this like icon for my name. You know what I mean? And like, I have a TikTok account, right? And so Chris Kirkpatrick, you know, we're always battling for this thing. And
the guy with the goatee now.
Oh yeah. So like, yeah, exactly. So like I now am using the handle at real Chris Kirkpatrick. And so like on TikTok and on Instagram, I get these people nice. I get these people that reach out to me all the time. And they're tagging like Justin Timberlake in the same tag as me. And I'm like, nah. So, you know, like it's hard, man. But like you have to be on the platforms. And that's my funny little story. But, you know, if you are not going to use Instagram, if you're not going to use Twitter, if you're not going to use TikTok, if you're not going to use some of these platforms and you only want to use Facebook or YouTube or whatever, like my jam is YouTube. I love YouTube. I live for it. Like, I literally spend way too much time every day obsessing over my analytics and figuring out how to grow the channel and reach more people, create better content, serve people in a bigger way, engaging with my audience and all that stuff. And like, that's where I live. If anybody ever wanted to find me there, it's easier for them to get a response from me to make a comment in a YouTube video than it is to send me an email, honestly. Like that's God's honest truth.
That's called building community. And that's awesome.
Like, but that's just the way I am. And so like, you know, but I have to have all these other platforms as well. Even if I'm not going to use them, even if they're just going to be an afterthought, they help me, you know, kind of dominate that. Now, to add to what you said as well, I would also suggest every single person take your brand and your name and set up a Google alert and make sure you get notified. Sign up for a Google alert with your name, your brand, your company, all that stuff. That way, every week you get a notification email from if anybody's writing anything, if there's ever been anything negative written about you, anything positive that you want to, you know, reach out to somebody, get them on your podcast because they said something awesome about you and it's a way to, you know, build rapport or something of that nature. Set up a Google alert. Make sure you're doing that because I think that's one of the most undervalued things. Nobody's doing it.
You know, most of the time when people say you should do this, I didn't do it. And in this case, I actually did it. So here's my alert with my name.
I love it.
Exactly like you said. Now, what else should I put on here? I don't know. Maybe Dubb.
Yeah, for sure. Dubb.
Yep. You know, but then Dubb is crazy because Dubb is there's someone's last name. It's the movie thing. So I don't know. Do I put Dubb.com?
Yep, you can do that.
Okay,
so you could do like Dubb video email or Dubb video messaging, like however you know what I mean.
Maybe Dubb video, yeah, that's cool.
Dubb video, Dubb video,
catch all, yeah. Oh, and I think that you have
to put it in quotes. Yep, there you go. Put it in quotes.
Cool.
Yep,
there it is. Create an alert. Nice. Well, I'm set up. There you go.
There you go. And see how easy it is. It's just go. I mean, Google.com/alerts and just set it up.
And then what this will do is that every single day it'll send me an alert.
You can change that, by the way. So it's
right.
Like
you can make it once a week. That makes sense. Yeah. There's another one that I have been told, which I've been meaning to do. In fact, I might even just do it right now. Speaker. What is it called when people are seeking speakers? Like there's a specific term for that. Speaker. Anyways, when you're looking for public speaking opportunities.
Oh yeah.
Right. So there's a term for this, which I'm not remembering right now. But someone told me. Yeah.
Is it stage? No, I I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, it's like when you seek speaking roles.
Yep.
Maybe speaking roles. Yeah, anyways, when you're seeking this, you just say speaking role, and then I don't know, video marketing or marketing. You know.
Yes.
And then that way, if something comes up, I might get a ping and submit myself, and hopefully get on stage somewhere.
Totally. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, that's a pro tip. So we recommend that people go to Google Alerts and just set that up and just be abreast. You don't need to have other people tell you stuff or define stuff. You can manage this yourself now. So that's a pro tip. That's awesome.
Yep, for sure. I love it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Now let's get into YouTube a little bit. YouTube for me has been and it's some cross between an enigma and a black hole.
Okay.
And my challenge specifically on YouTube is that I haven't found my voice and I haven't found my audience, right? That's what I suffer from. I really like how you have a clear audience, you have a clear focus, there's a through line, there's a theme that you have through all your videos. For me, is it sales leaders? That's what Dubb sells. Dubb sells to sales leaders, right? But it's also solopreneurs, people that want to start businesses, founders. That's sort of another segment for us. And then there's the dad thing. And then there's just people on YouTube, right? So I have not found my niche. And then in terms of the topics, the same thing I suffer from. Should it be about sales and sales leadership and I'm like a sales coach, or should it be more about entrepreneurialism or that thing, or should it be like sort of a mixed thing? It's martial arts, tennis, and philosophy. Anyways, I'd love to get your take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is like, so when I think about like as a Dubb user, what I would say to you is like, to me, it's like I don't think of you, and I'm not in your business, so I can't speak to this like clearly, but like for me, when I think of you, I just think about communication. I think about anybody. It doesn't have to be a salesperson. I mean, yes, it's absolutely an amazing tool, for prospecting and for sales and all that stuff. And to me, it's like the best thing in the world. Anybody that is a salesperson that's not using it is missing the ball. But it's really about communication, about community. It's about all these things. Because think about it this way: when people send me emails, right, and people respond to YouTube comments, people that reach out, it is about connection and people, And we live in this we're just flooded by information. We're flooded by emails, and we're flooded by just this sea of just, people just wanting our attention. Right. And it's really hard I always tell people, if you want to differentiate yourself in the marketplace, you have to do things different, right? You have to do it differently. And, video marketing is a communication tool that you can use to connect with people in a different way. And to me, that's what it's about. It's not a sales tool. It's a connection tool. And it's going to help you connect with your community better. I send messages to my YouTube following, utilizing Dubb. Like if somebody sends me an email, I respond with a video, like a personalized video. And when you do that and you're able to communicate in a much more real, authentic way, that's gonna let them realize kind of really where you're coming from. Because some things in email just get taken out of context or aren't able to be conveyed in the right way or the way that you're intending. And then the other cool part, dude, is when you're talking about YouTube, like you can start engaging with people with Dubb links in your chat. Film a video, put it in the comments, like really engage with people, right? Because the cool part when you do that is like, now if there's a potential for them to convert to be a customer or do anything else that you want to be able to serve them with, what you guys have done that's really cool on the back end is like being able to set up appointments once they click on that link and go watch that video and do all these different, like you have all sorts of back end features that are pretty cool. And it's making the user experience more unique, more fun, simpler, cleaner, all that stuff. So to me, that's really cool. But as far as your audience goes, man, as far as your content, I mean, I would say it's the connection, it's the sales, it's the entrepreneurship, but they all want that same thing. It's the connection and it's the people. Like, because if you're not serving people and if that's not what you're leading with right now, entrepreneurs do one thing. They identify problems and they create a solution to the problem. That's it.
So if there were to be like 1 or 2 or 3 videos that you would want me to create for my YouTube channel, what would they be?
Ooh, that's a good question. So that's a hard one. So let me ask you this. I'm gonna answer that with another question to you. Have you identified companies out there, like competitors that are in your space that you think are making similar content to you, that you've resonated with and been like, oh my gosh, that's a really good video and that has a lot of views? And
not from our competition, no, but for other channels, absolutely. Like there's a couple of people that I really enjoy. I like Chris Doe. He's got a great YouTube channel, The Future. I think he's almost at 2 million subscribers. He's done really well for himself.
That's significant.
Nice. Yeah, and then there's some other focus. I think for me, it's the niche content. I think that I really enjoy watching. I get this sizzle when I see someone that is communicating with their ideal client profile and they're building that community, and you just know that there's this theme. And I don't feel that from my own content. So I mean, this was really helpful for me to just think about, I don't know, communication, about networking, about creating connections, sales. I'm not a sales person per se. That's not really what I am. I'm sort of a marketing automation technologist, CEO, founder type. So I'm not fully qualified to be like, I've closed, $10 million in pipeline, and you need to listen to me on. That's not.
But that's not it. That's not your jam. I mean, your thing, like what you've done, and I've watched some of your content, right? So and it's awesome. I mean, I think your vibe is awesome. I think, you just the way you come across is authentic and real, and that's all that matters. And so it's what I would say is think about, it's identify challenges and articulate solutions. So think about, like, what are the biggest challenges that you hear? I mean, I'm sure you get emails every day. I'm sure you get responses every day, and you're seeing stuff in the analytics in the back end of everything you're doing. I would say, what are the biggest challenges that people are having? And, how do you create content speaking to those challenges? Because if people are having problems, they're searching it on YouTube, because YouTube is the how-to search engine of the world, right? So I would think problem, go into YouTube and come up with a title. First of all, think problem, and then go look and see who's creating content on that problem, not to mimic them, not to watch them, not to hack like what they've been saying, but just to find the views that are, and see how they titled their video. This is like some really good free YouTube consulting for everybody out there. Figure out what their exact title is on the video that performed really well. Because this is the thing that the biggest mistake people make on YouTube is they try to rank for the search title, right?
Yeah.
That's what they try to do. But what you need to realize is that 75% of all your channel's views are going to come from the suggested content on the right bar of the screen or mobile when you swipe down. 75% of all views come from YouTube saying, somebody just clicked on this video and they liked it, so now we're going to suggest your video because it's similar in nature. And if you get a good enough click-through rating, meaning you got to have a right thumbnail and all that stuff, then you're gonna get momentum, right? And so and if YouTube says they have a 4% or plus click-through rating, and that's really good, right? And in the suggested bar, they're going to just keep putting you in front of more people. And so in your back end for your analytics for your YouTube channel, you just have to look for impressions and click-through ratings and make sure your thumbnails are right, because they got to pop. And kind of go from there. But go through, figure out the challenge, find the videos that are like that, copy the exact title, make a good thumbnail for it, make your unique content. Don't hack other people's ideas. Keep your voice, keep what you do, but just get it out there. And that's what's going to help grow your channel, because that will get it in front of more people. If you try to beat the algorithm and get ranked, in a top 5 on YouTube, or if somebody, a YouTube expert, is trying to tell you that that's what you need to do, you're going to be severely disappointed.
Fair enough. I have a question for you, sort of a gift. And what I will do is I'll take your advice. I will ask the question as a comment on your YouTube video, The Power of Video Email.
Yeah.
Using Dubb Video Email for Marketing and Networking. This is a video that connected us. So this is proof that video connects human beings, because we are here today, Chris and I, because of this video that Chris put out there, and I found it and I reached out to him. And that's classic inbound marketing, classic connection. In fact, the name of this podcast is Connection Loop, because that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
So here's my question for you, Mr. Chris Kirkpatrick. Do you want us to build a Dubb integration for YouTube? And what I mean by that is that there would be a Dubb icon right here, so that you click it, and then that opens up a little modal.
Oh, man, that would be
allows you to record a video and add it as a comment.
That would be gold. Okay. Absolutely. 100%.
Okay.
If you do that, I would use that every single day. And,
okay.
and if you did that, you'd have a whole different segment of people who are influencers and YouTube creators that would be all over that.
Okay. So consider that done. We are going to add it to our pipeline as a gift to you, because
that's amazing.
And this is totally inspired by what you said about getting a comment on one of your YouTube videos and then responding with a video message. That's gold. In fact, I've never done that before. I can't believe I didn't think of that. I've done it on LinkedIn, but not YouTube. Love that. Love that.
Totally. That's awesome.
That's connection. So amazing. Cool. Well, where can folks learn more about you, your website, your social channels?
Yeah. So my YouTube channel, if you go to youtube.com/life180, it is, that is pretty much, like I said, that's where I live. I'm working really hard on building that community. I'm in it hours and hours every single day. And then ultimately, I'm in the process right now. So in a couple of weeks, you'll see our new website, life180.com, is up. It's not really anything right now, so don't even go there. It's pointless. But cashflowhacking.com right now is up. And so I'm launching my first book. Like I said, we're shooting for November 15th, but definitely in November, cashflowhacking.com is coming out. We're actually launching cash flow hacking challenge as well with the book, which is, going to be geared to help people understand how to invest for cash flow rather than investing for accumulation, for some unknown time 30 years from now, where we don't understand what the world's even going to look like. I'm a big believer. You can't plan effectively for anything you don't understand, or the variables that you don't know are going to exist. Right. And so that's just the reality of the financial planning world. And that's why I'm so passionate about doing what we do. And I also work with, if you're a life insurance agent by chance and you're watching this and you need help with anything with that, we're actually going to be offering the cash flow hacking community to agents to be able to help on their prospecting, on their education for their clients and all that stuff. That's my biggest passion, is just educating people around all that stuff.
Amazing. Cool. So YouTube, we got you. Instagram is real Chris
Kirkpatrick.
Not to be confused with the Dolphin Instinct. Okay.
Yep. And what's really funny? What's really funny there, just as a side note, is so my wife is Mrs. American right now. So she just won the national pageant, right? So.
Wow.
So it's kind of cool. She got invited up to Vegas, I'm going to say 3 months ago, to go to this gala. And who was there? And I didn't go with her. She went alone. Who was there but him, Chris Kirkpatrick. And so she punks me and sends me a picture with her and him, and and just busted my chops. And I'm just
way.
Oh yeah. That's pretty funny.
That is a riot. So okay, am I in the right zip code with this visual here? This is, what am I looking at? I think this is a Facebook page. Is this correct?
That is my wife in the middle. You got it.
Okay, cool. And then Facebook has been doing this thing where ever since I went to Mexico, every time I pull up Facebook, it's all I get to practice my Spanish. That's cool.
I keep getting the Spanish thing too. Maybe it's because I was just in Costa Rica or something.
I think it does that. It just assumes that we just all of a sudden got COVID and just only speak Spanish now.
There you go. Yep, that's my wife.
Amazing. Oh, there you are.
Cool, and we run a podcast together called Business with Benefits, which is talking about for married couples that work together out of the home, just managing life and business and keeping your relationship good and all that. It's just kind of a fun little title,
Oh man, that's so good. So good. Well, listen, Chris, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. I'm sticking around for some production notes, and thank you once again, Chris.
You got it, brother.